Here we go. This time, no cursing.
I'll be proper. Dijon mustard.
Okay.
You need some light.
Khalifa Kush, Blueberry, Yum Yum, Perp, Mary Jane, Sticky Icky, Bobby Brown, the Crypto, Hydro, and Weed. All of these are nicknames for one of our nation's most misunderstood and underrated taboos. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to talk to you about marijuana. More specifically, I would like to talk about the benefits of legalizing marijuana. Despite the bad publicity, there's obvious and numerous benefits of legalizing marijuana. I would like to talk about 3 of them: economically, medicinally, and socially. First, we'll talk about economically. It costs, or better yet, marijuana is an illegal drug, obviously. So caught with possession, the average amount of years that you can get sentenced is on average about 3 years. Average. With that said, in 2014, over 800,000 people were incarcerated for the possession of marijuana. Now here's the kicker. It cost nearly $21,000 a year to fully clothe, feed, and support a prisoner incarcerated. So you do a little bit of arithmetic, and you realize that just for locking someone up for possession of marijuana for 1 year, it costs, or for 800,000 people for 1 year, it costs $15 billion. That's not even for the entire duration of the amount of years served. Take that into account, and it's now $45 billion. That's a lot of money to pay to prohibit someone from smoking marijuana. Which is ironic because this is not America's first run-in with prohibition. Back in the 1920s, alcohol itself was prohibited from the use and sale within the United States. It didn't work because all it did, people still wanted to drink, so they found ways of getting alcohol anyway. And how that happened was organized crime stepped in and started making bootlegs. So now all the money that the states could have gotten, off of taxing the alcohol, it went to organized crime instead. It was only helping them. How is it helping them? I'll go into that a little bit later. How much money can you make off of taxing marijuana? I'll tell you that right now. There's currently 4 states in the United States that have legalized marijuana. There's Colorado, Washington, Oregon, and Alaska. Colorado and Washington have made $70 million apiece from taxing marijuana in 1 year. Off of tax revenue in 1 year. Oregon has made $11 million in the first week. Washington has sold, in total, $247 million worth of marijuana across 160 dispensaries statewide. You break that down, that's roughly $1.5 million a day. Why would you not want to tax this? Or why would you not want to legalize marijuana so that you can tax it? It honestly doesn't make that much sense if you don't. Does anyone here know what an excise tax is?
I used to.
All right, I got you. An excise tax is the tax they put on a sin or a vice, i.e., cigarettes, alcohol, dipping tobacco, such and so forth. They put a tax on it, and it's usually a very high percentage. If you apply those same rates to marijuana, if you legalize marijuana and apply those same rates, as a nation, tax revenue can earn $46.7 billion nationally. That almost wipes out the whole cost of how much it costs just to support the locking up of those people that are incarcerated for it. Another aspect as to why the prohibition doesn't work, marijuana prohibition doesn't work, is because of supply and demand. Simple law of supply and demand states that demand varies, the amount of demand varies with the price. If the price goes up, then the demand goes down. If the price goes down, then more people will buy it, so then the demand goes up. And there's also two different types of demand. There's an elastic demand, which means if the price changes drastically, then the demand will change drastically. Say you normally go to Starbucks and you like to buy a coffee for $2, and you buy one coffee every day for 7 days. Then next week, and it costs $2. And then the next week you go back and it costs $4. Are you still gonna buy that coffee? Probably, because you really like that coffee, you really like that brand, but you're not gonna buy it as much as you used to, because if the price went up, your demand went down. Because it has such a wide variety, or such a wide flexibility, we said that demand is elastic. Now, conversely, you have an inelastic demand, whereas the price will rise drastically, but the demand will not change. Does anybody have any idea as to what would be an inelastic demand? Gas. That's one. Well, gas is a little bit of elastic, but that's a good guess though. Anybody else? Something that the price goes up a lot and the demand does not change at all?
Lottery?
Not the lottery. But
as far as like bills and stuff?
anything. Any kind of demand for anything.
Groceries?
Food?
Yeah.
Food is elastic too, because you'll switch it up to something else. Or another type of food. Doctors. That's an inelastic demand. No matter how much it costs a doctor, no matter how much a doctor costs, you're gonna pay that doctor. Lawyers. Any type of particular skill set or particular want that's hard to get, it's an inelastic demand. You'll pay for it regardless of what it costs. Well, the demand for marijuana is an inelastic demand. It's not going anywhere. No matter what it costs, it's going to be there. So, the war on drugs states that their policy is to take out the suppliers. Remember how I said that the government is only helping out the criminals or helping out the organized crime? Here's where it comes into play. If you have an inelastic demand, whereas people will pay anything for what they want, and then you have the government taking out the competition, taking out the other suppliers, whatever suppliers are left can charge an exorbitant amount of price, can charge an exorbitant price, and reap insane profits. So the whole thing is counterproductive. It's really kind of a joke. By funneling that much money indirectly into organized crime, they get bigger, they get stronger, crime becomes more prevalent, more violence takes place, and it hurts society as a whole. Speaking of society, or speaking of hurting society, consider this. Alcohol is socially acceptable. Yet, annually, you have 88,000 deaths. 88,000 deaths. Compared to marijuana, where you have 0 deaths. There's been no deaths from an overdose in marijuana. More choices, more destructive choices, violent situations, destroyed homes have come up with alcohol by comparison to marijuana. And yet, marijuana is illegal and alcohol is allowed. Why is alcohol allowed and marijuana is made illegal when marijuana has none of the destructive attributes now marijuana has none of the destructive attributes that alcohol has, and it actually has beneficial medicinal side effects, which leads to my last point. Medicinally, marijuana is used to cure a plethora of things. To name a few, is used to treat cancer. Yes, cancer. It is proven to slow and even stop the spread of cancer cells. Brain tumors, lung cancer, testicular cancer, whatever it may be. Including glaucoma, autism, arthritis, chronic pain, conjunctivitis, PTSD, sleep apnea, and literally over 80 other ailments. Including a few more that I thought was very interesting. Marijuana is also used, as right now, in drug and rehabilitation centers. They use marijuana for alcohol, cocaine, and heroin addiction. They would give that to them instead of the more destructive counterpart that they are more used to chasing. And it's roughly in the 80% of success. Nationwide or obesity on a nationwide level. Now I know a lot of you thinking like, how the hell does marijuana cure obesity? Well, it speeds up your metabolism. There have been several reports that it speeds up your metabolism. Or multiple reports. ADD, attention deficit disorder. It helps with focus. And my favorite, last but my favorite, is lung capacity. Not only does it counter effect. Not only does it counters the effect of tobacco from a smoke, or say you smoke cigarettes. Not only does it counter the effects, but it also increases lung capacity, which is kind of indirect, granted, because when you're smoking, what do? You hold your breath. Exactly. It's like swimming. You swim enough, you're going to hold your breath. You hold your breath longer. It's kind of like the same thing. So, in conclusion, we went over how much it cost, how much marijuana prohibition costs, how much it costs to taxpayers, how much, if we were to reject prohibition, how much we could make annually by placing an excise tax on it, how it is hypocritically socially acceptable over alcohol, or socially unacceptable over alcohol, while alcohol is way more destructive, and all of the medicinal benefits that it is currently used to treat. I truly believe that if it was made legal, that a lot of the issues that we went over just now could probably be rectified with one swift, smooth judicial decision. So that's my opinion on it, and I hope I've given you enough information so you can make a sound judgment on your own. Thank you very much.